Hello everyone and welcome back. We're going to jump right into game 3 here between BratOK. BratOK, our red Terran here in the 7 o'clock position, representing FXOBratOK against his opponent in the 5 o'clock position, Mill.Adellscott, our orange Protoss here, representing Millennium. BratOK lamenting on his failure to defend the 4 gate in the last game. You know, one other thing that's important to point out that I wasn't talking about in the last game is the positioning of the bunkers on Tal'Darim. If you think of, like, I guess this is like the choke point in Tal'Darim, even though it's a lot smaller. Like, you don't want your bunkers at the choke point where the Protoss can set up a nice arc of stalkers all engaging at once. What you want to do, what we see the Korean Terrans do, is actually put their bunkers a little bit further back, really close to the command center, in an arc, so that the Protoss has to get into the choke point, and the Protoss is choked up while they're engaging near bunkers. That way they can't get quite as much surface area, quite as many stalkers engaging at once. That type of a thing. Looks like BratOK not going to wall off this game. We are on Shakura's Plateau, a pretty good map for Terran, so could allow BratOK to take this series maybe just ever so slightly easier. I don't know. We'll see if he tries to go for some type of one-on-one play. It is pretty freaking popular on this map, pretty freaking effective. Mill.Adellscott going for that 13 gate, playing it all standard here. And there's his gas. Everything looking normal, guys. No gas from BratOK. Going to be a gasless expand. Not going to be any type of one-on-one. Despite its popularity and success on this map. He wants to play more of a standard game, which is totally respectable. Is my music off? What did I just hit? I just don't want to admit it. Oh, yeah, my music was off. Oops. I was like, it feels quiet in here, guys. I'm all by my lonesome. Had a busy, poor guy, stuck at the airport in New York. If that music is now turned on, it is epically quiet. He is going to go Zealot first, though. Wants to be able to apply some really Zealot stalker pressure again. BratOK did go second depot before command center, even though he has no wall. Interesting that he would put that depot at the wall, not the first one, but wanted to have a little more mineral efficiency earlier on, and then wants to be able to add on a wall off. Oh, look at this! Reactive play from BratOK here. Very intelligent play. Here's what he scouted. He scouted one gas. This is exactly what we saw in game 1 from Mill.Adellscott. One gas, no chrono boost available, thus no chance of early aggression. It's going to be a 1-gate expand, guaranteed from Mill.Adellscott. 1-gate expand. That's absolutely what's going to happen, and thus BratOK realizing, all right, you're actually going to go for a little bit of a risky, kind of minorly greedy build, even though it's pretty standard, and thus he's going to go up to 3 racks and just hit him. And this is a great thing to do. Tons of Korean Terrans are doing this. Oh my god, he's actually getting double gas. That's not what we see very often. Sometimes we see tons of Korean Terrans just add on 2 more barracks, just rally Marines over, sometimes even put them in positions to like lower them down in the low ground on maps. And then your command center is only delayed by like a minute, except that you like pretty much hard counter 1-gate expands. But actually, BratOK not just going to go for a lot of Marine production, actually will add on double gas. Interesting play here. So he's going to go for a really quick tech lab. Very curious about this. If he's actually going to hit at an early enough timing. Because if he actually waits for something like Stim, Mill.Adellscott will have built up too many units off of his 2-base economy for this to be effective. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Stalker does see a pretty high number of Marines. I don't know if that's 5 for that point in time. Not unreasonable. He actually did rally down all of his Marines down there, though, so he's got to be careful. If that 6th Marine had been spotted, he would have known for sure that something was up here. I don't know if he really caught on. Oh, it looks like he did catch on, because he dropped a Forge immediately, and it looks like he just wants to play it safe. Additional gateways as well, so, you know, maybe this could just be for early upgrades, but I'm pretty sure with that Forge, I could be wrong here, I just feel like with that Forge, he's probably going to drop down some cannons at the front and be totally safe. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll just go for upgrades. But it would seem likely that he has kind of sniffed out that this is actually maybe some type of all-in. BratOK is going for Stim first and +1, so he's going to try to hit a Stim and +1 timing, and we do see +1 armor started from Mill.Adellscott. He's going to get any cannons. Are the force fields going to be effective? Are we going to see a factory and medevacs come out? Or is he just going to go standard 3 racks play? Because without medevacs, of course, he can just force field the ramp endlessly if he gets enough sentries. It is a 2 force field sized ramp, so not that hard to block off. 2 tech labs and a reactor here. I feel like we're watching a game from beta, except that we have double gas. Oh my god, is Mill.Adellscott going to go for the parting build? Oh no. Oh no, Adellscott did get faked out and thought his opponent went gasless expand. He's not continuing to scout. If he like sent a probe up that ramp, you would see the Marauders right now and realize it wasn't a gasless, gasless expand. But he's not doing that scouting. He will have +1 armor, but he's going to have way too few units. Oh my god, a Twilight Council as well. This game's pretty much over. He wants to be able to continue to +2 armor, but he's not going to have a lot of units. Only 3 warp gates worth of units warping in. He's not going up to 8 gates really quickly like we see players like Parting do when they go for that really quick third Nexus. And he's only going to see 5 Marines moving out with that Zealot. Smart move by Braddock, leaving the rest of his units farther back. Excellent move. In fact, this other Zealot's going to walk back home as well. So Adellscott doesn't realize what's going on here. He has no cannons. He's only going to have 2 force fields, or 2 sentries worth of force field, which is going to leave him up to maybe 2 or 3 rounds of force fields in a row. And then he's going to be out of force fields. And it's going to be like, well, do you have enough units? If you don't, you lose. And maybe Adellscott can hold this and will prove me wrong, and that would be glorious. But he's already starting Blink and +2 armor despite this army. Oh, he doesn't know that the army is there, I guess. Oh my god, he sees the SCVs coming. He should cancel those upgrades and warp in more units. Great force fields on the ramp, although they kind of allow Marines and SCVs to be able to get through there. He's going to throw down cannons. Will they be in time, though? Does he have enough force fields to last him? He doesn't have a lot of gas, so he can't just warp in a bunch. If he canceled +2 armor and Blink right now, he could get 2 more sentries and force field this ramp longer to get these cannons up. Really big deal right now, but Braddock just kind of letting his units start to take damage, leaving them up against the force fields so that Adellscott can engage with his stalkers. More cannons going up. Will he have enough force fields to, save himself in time? His force is, of course, continuing to get larger and larger for Braddock. +2 armor and Blink. I mean, if they finish, that's great, but I just can't see them actually finishing before this engagement happens. Maybe Blink will. That would be cool, but 3 more gates finish, and that's crucial. Oh my god, he gets up. There's the stim. No more force fields available. And now he's going to just be in a lot of trouble. These cannons go down so quick. The Zealots that are warping in. But there are 2 more cannons finishing right now. Braddock moving his army back. Does he have enough HP here? Might he have overstimmed? He's taken out all the stalkers. He's taken out all the probes. He's going to go for the cannons. The cannons go down really quickly. He is like really low on this army, but he might have done the damage he needed to do here. He might have just overrun Adellscott. 28 food to 32. Adellscott barely with a couple units left. That cannon unfortunately unpowered there, but there's still 2 more left above it, and he has basically taken out this army. If he can just hold on and warp in a couple more units and then triple chronal probes, Adellscott should be able, in theory, to be able to get back in this game. Will he be able to do it, though? He's still losing more and more units. He might start to lose a couple probes in his main, although he should be able to just warp in units as this Zealot is approaching death. And these sentries over here should be able to hold back these units. To the point where they'd have to walk past the cannon, which, yeah, really not a good move to walk past that cannon. This Marauder actually go into town on the Marine as well in the main base. Sentry's trying to micro, but he's losing sentries right now. They get target fired down by the Marauders. Great play there by Braddock. He has to use these units so efficiently, and there's the GG called off from Adellscott. A 2-1 victory for Braddock. Unfortunately, Adellscott yet again getting a little bit greedy and going for an extremely quick third base. When we see players, like, there's a certain amount of scouting information you have to get to be able to actually safely go for that. And when we see players not get enough scouting information, they at least go for like the safest version of the build. Just warp in a whole bunch of units. But I still think it could have held. I actually, I'm talking about the third Nexus being greedy. Think about how close that was at the end there. Think about how low those units were and how few there were. Can you imagine for a second? I know I was talking about it a lot, so I'm harping on. It's a hard thing to kind of think about while you're in the game frantically defending and you see all those SCVs coming. You're like, oh god, I can't let those SCVs up the ramp. What am I going to do? Just imagine, right at that moment when he couldn't force field anymore and the units stimmed up the ramp, and the 3 cannons, he had 3 cannons about to complete that didn't quite complete in time. Imagine if he had canceled +2 armor and Blink, or even just one or the other, warped in 2 more sentries, and force fielded the ramp just 1 more time. 3 more cannons would have finished, and he guaranteed would have held that attack and probably won the game. Just saying, guys. Just some food for thought for next time or whatever. Anyways, that means that Braddock moves on. A nice decisive win there. A good choice after he saw the somewhat greedy opener that Adellscott was going for. So we're going to move into our next match. It's going to be Strelok against Damaga. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back. I can't speak correctly, can I, today, guys? Can I? I don't know, man. It's like I don't solo cast for a couple weeks or a couple months or whatever, and I come back to it. It's like all this talk and my mouth just starts doing things my brain's not telling it to do. But we'll be back to see if I can correct that with this next match after this quick commercial break.